What up YouTube, BonzEye here, back with another video. This is going to be the second episode of my Yumi Story podcast. This one though is going to be a bit different from most of the ones I do. Unlike the previous ones and the ones that are going to come later, in this one, I am the guest who got interviewed. So basically what happened was, late last year in December I believe, I was invited by Toro. He's a streamer and gamer from Papua New Guinea, who also happens to be the chairman of the PNG Esports Association, and he came across my channel and wanted to conduct an interview with me to find out more about me, as well as help me gain some exposure on his channel. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that opportunity, and it's from that podcast that I was able to get the footage that I'm going to be playing for you guys today, with just a bit of editing here and there. So yeah, other than this being a podcast from Dell's channel, another disclaimer to go over is that this video is, a bit out of context. It was taken late last year when I was not in school, whereas now I currently am in school, and I mentioned that a whole bunch of times. So yeah, just be aware that things are a bit out of date in that video. But yeah, other than that, you're gonna get a relatively unfiltered version of me and an insight into who I am. So yeah, with those disclaimers out of the way, let's get right into the video.
Welcome to the stream.
By the way, bro,
yeah.
What do I do to get to the stream?
Facebook.com/DellToroLive. Yeah, so I'll give BonzEye a little bit of a chance, but I'll just mention that BonzEye is a YouTuber, aspiring YouTuber, and he's on the up, I should say, in terms of PNG YouTubers. So I'm really honored to have BonzEye. I had a chat with him earlier in the week, and we're excited to do this live stream and just have a bit of a chat about everything, really, gaming, content creation, anything that comes to mind. But without further ado, I'll welcome BonzEye. And BonzEye, if you can just sort of give a little background or a little bio about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so basically I was told a while ago, a couple years ago, that by a friend of mine that I sort of had a personality or something where to do YouTube, because I love movies, I love gaming, and I love talking about this stuff, and I love getting to know people and bringing people together and talking about new upcoming movies and games and stuff like that. And he sort of said that it was the kind of personality that he would see in someone that could do YouTube, and he suggested it to me. And then I guess eventually early last year, that same friend invited me to do a podcast with him. Things didn't really work.
Who is this from? This was a fan.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. And then unfortunately things didn't work well in that regard, but it the experience just kind of kickstarted in me this fire to to do it myself, to more or less build the to, rather than have someone doing it and be on someone else's podcast, do my own thing. And so from there, I don't remember when exactly, but in the middle of this year I decided to just put myself out there. I made my own YouTube channel. I started just making YouTube videos about movies and stuff, and then I eventually started uploading gaming content for my favorite video game. I'm a bit of a strategy game lover, and I have a favorite video game, Crusader Kings, which is, so far, that's the only content gaming wise that's on my channel. And then other than that, I also just like to talk about movies and stuff. I haven't and then also, other than movies and stuff, I sometimes talk about Papua New Guinea too and stuff like that. So you'll find I'm a variety content creator, really. Even though the majority is gaming right now, I can pretty much talk about almost anything. Yeah, broad.
Broad topics of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I stumbled onto your channel. I'm not sure how, to be honest. I think someone shared it on Facebook. And maybe one of the BOP boys.
Yes,
Shout out to the BOP clan, Bloods of PNG.
Well, I'm actually sort of a part of the group, actually. So yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah. What was I saying? I stumbled upon BonzEye's video, one of his videos. I think this was Victoria. Was it about Victoria too?
Yeah.
And how you? Oh, 3. Sorry.
Modded PNG.
Yeah. I actually never heard of that game. To be honest with you, never heard of that game. Is it a strategy, or is it?
It's what's called a grand strategy game. So that's kind of one of the things when it comes to me. As far as my games that I like, I'm pretty niche. I play COD, of course. That's the social game that all the boys play. So yes, of course I play that.
Right.
But most of the games that I actually play and actually love are strategy games. So I started off with like Age of Empires. Sorry, is it cool if I give my
Yeah,
gaming?
sure.
Yeah, so basically I started off gaming with like Age of Empires and World of Warcraft. And that was like my introduction. Well, actually, the very first game I ever played when I was really young, like 7 or something like that, was it was an investigation game actually. Now that I think about it, like a cartoon investigation game, but it was a thinking game where you had to like find clues and stuff like that. I don't
Right.
know if you all have heard of this character called Fillmore, but he's supposed to. There used to be a cartoon about him, and he was like a detective, a teenage detective or something like that, and he would solve crimes. And then like I played one of his games, and yeah, I guess even from that point, it's different to the games I play now, but it was sort of like a thinking game. And then I went on to coming to Age of Empires. I don't know whether Age of
Yeah.
Empires came first or Warcraft. And then from there, I think Civilization was like my next favorite game. And I can remember, I don't know if it was Civilization or Warcraft, but like I played like 36 hours straight, like without eating or sleeping and only peeing. That was the only thing. I didn't eat, I
Wow,
didn't sleep, I
okay.
just playing.
One of
Yeah,
those
and
games, one
that
of
could
those, just you just hooked.
yeah, I could just sit there and play. No, it was Warcraft, not Civilization. Warcraft.
Okay,
I love Warcraft.
right.
And then Civilization, and I've circled back now to liking role playing games as well, because these days I also like games that have a bit of story to them, and so like for example, I never played it, but I've watched several playthroughs of The Last of Us, and also God of War, the not the very recent one, but the one just before it, not Ragnar. What was the one before God of War Ragnarok?
I think it
The
was
one right
just,
before.
I think it was just God of War.
Yeah, it was like God of War 4. But that's the thing. I didn't play that game, but I just watched the story. And honestly, like it was amazing. Like I think those two games in particular kind of got me interested in role-playing games. So the game
Yeah.
that I'm currently into right now is like a blend between strategy and role-playing games. It's called Crusader Kings 3. And so
Okay.
imagine you had a strategy game that also allowed you to do the kind of things that they do in the series Game of Thrones, where you can murder and scheme and like seduce your own sister behind the scenes and stuff like that. Like it is literally Game of Thrones stuff, but at the same time you can go out and conquer kingdoms and stuff like that. So it's
Right.
like it's a combination of Age of Empires and have you know the game Sims,
Yeah, Sims.
where you control So if they got the game
These are all
Sims
games
and
Nigel
combined it
likes,
with
actually.
So yeah, if you combine Sims with Age of Empires, well, not really Age of Empires, but like a strategy game like Age of Empires, then that's what you get, Crusader Kings. Like it's a combination of role play plus strategy. So that's more or less the kind of games. And yeah, Victoria 3, the game I modded, was made by the same company, and it's kind of in the same vein. But whereas the game of Crusader Kings is set in the medieval times, Victoria is Victorian era, the time when Queen Victoria. So that's when the Steam engine became popular and stuff like that. I mean, I said it in the videos. People can check it out if they're interested.
Right. So the chat is saying God of War 2014. One is saying 2018.
Yeah, I'm not
Either
sure.
the fourth
Definitely,
or-
because the first 3 were more like him smashing things. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that's like fun to play that kind of games. But yeah, I guess for me, like I'm more into like when something can engage me on a more deeper level. So whether that be on a thinking level or on an emotional level. So like story-driven games like Last of Us will engage me on a more emotional level, and then a thinking game like Age of Empires and so on will be more, maybe not so much emotional, but they'll engage me on that like thinking and trying to solve problems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's more the type of games that I play.
We got we'll have a look at the chat. There's a few comments here. So shout out to all the people in the chat. Thanks for joining us and joining the live stream. Welcome to the stream, Nigel. Nigel's a big fan of yours, bro. He's been following you since. He's been watching your content since a month ago. Good stuff, bro. He says.
Thank you so much, bro, for that. Glad to hear.
And like the games you were sort of rolling off there, I think like as I'm friends with him, I think most of those games he's familiar as well, and he likes those games as well.
Oh,
Especially
that's cool.
Sims, I think. I don't know why, but I'm not a fan of Sims. But
It's the story generators. The hook with those games is Sims. Obviously, it's more. I would say the main target audience for Sims would be like females, to be honest. But
Yeah.
what someone like me would find interesting in it is that I like generating stories. I mean, I'm creating content now on YouTube, so obviously that says something about me as someone who likes to create something. And I'm not so much interested in like, making this character
Yeah.
marry that character, but like it's more like creating a story, yeah, a scenario, and like have experiencing like I don't know, maybe like a weird god complex thing, or trying to control people and well, not really control, more like create a scenario and watch them like simulate, live out their lives. Like sometimes, like I can just like turn on a game and just let it run on its own, and I don't do anything. I just set up the initial parameters and just like watch the simulation run. That's something that I do for fun, and you can do that in like Sims to an extent. So that's I think for me that's what the hook is, as opposed to what most of the fan base I think of Sims would probably like.
Yeah, yeah.
So we also got Bird in the chat as well. So shout out to Bird, who I should mention is a part of the PNG
Association. So shout out to the association and the followers and members. He's actually got a question for you, bro. He's well, not much of a question. I think it's more of a statement. He says, question. Oh, it is a question. Question: does he want to join the association? It sounds like a very smart man.
Indirectly, I am through the Bloods of PNG. More specifically,
so kind of you are, because you're part of the community.
I'm
part of Bloods, and in a way, he is. You could say. Tavia says, "Let's go, Bonnie. Welcome to the stream."
Thank you.
Nigel says, "God complex." Yes. Yeah. So, what should we be looking at? I do recall you mentioning you were interested in as that last video you did. Oh, sorry, the one previously, where you were with your mate Alan, was it?
Oh, the podcast. Yeah, Alan doing the podcast.
Yeah. So
yeah,
the topics of discussion you had were very good, and it seemed more like a podcast sort of setup or a style you did there. So do you think you'll be doing more like that type of?
Yes, actually, that's in fact I'm probably gonna I'll be heading into doing school this year, and I'll probably slow down on the gaming stuff, but the podcast things will definitely keep that'll probably be like maybe my bread and butter going forward, the way I see it. And like I said, I'm a person of many hats. So that one was more about PNG culture. The next one that I'm doing is actually it's kind of sort of spoiler. It's going to be kind of like a interview podcast. I mean, I kind of mentioned at the end of that one that I was going to be interviewing someone and doing talk with him, and that person, clearly, I guess I'll say it now. He makes like he's kind of a producer, right? A opinion producer who produces content. Like Kevin Feige, and they're the person behind the scenes that arranges for directors to come in and actors, and then they sort them out, do the budgeting and stuff like that, and then produce content. So he's been doing that for Popping, trying to produce PNG shows and stuff like that. And I just kind of wanted to interview him and hear like how things work in that angle, like producing content wise, so like how does things go on. And so that I actually just did that today prior to coming here and doing this. Actually, I'm doing two kind of podcasts today, one for my own channel and the other one with you.
Right.
And so yeah, that video will definitely be out next week once I edit it. And yeah, so moving forward, my content is going to probably pivot over to being more podcast related stuff. But as far as like the genre, the topics, it's going to go pretty much anywhere. And it can, like, for example, I can talk with you about games I like and stuff like that. I can talk with Pili about like producing content and stuff like that. And I can also talk about like obviously Papua New Guinea, Melanesian culture and stuff like that. So the podcast will cover a wide range of things. At least for now. I might decide in the future to focus it on one angle and be something like that, like be more focused with it. But for right now, I'm just more or less just doing it on. Depends, I guess, really on what guest I have on. So with Alan, I just talk more about PNG, and then with Pili, we talk more about what he's doing. If I were to have like you on or somebody else in the gaming sphere on with it, we'd talk more about like PNG gaming and stuff like that. So that's more or less in the future, yeah.
But the direction you're heading.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're sort of it's your channel. You're just having fun, and you just kind of whatever comes to your creative mind.
yeah,
you
like
have the freedom to do it, which is cool, right?
Yeah.
You like that freedom where you can sort of just create what you want.
I feel like
Yeah.
if I grow my platform large enough, I might be able to. And then like I don't know if I can. Like for me, I have like I'm not too. I basically are like at a crossroads right now in my life about like going in which direction I could go. And I don't like YouTube. I don't know how viable it is in like the PNG setting and stuff like that. But depending on how things go, like I can also like do some multiple channels in the future and have one focus more on the gaming side of things and one focus more on like PNG and stuff like that. Because the way YouTube works, it likes people who have a particular niche and stick to their niche. it's
Yeah.
it's not exactly good for someone who is diverse like me to be on YouTube, because like YouTube will, like I don't know, YouTube doesn't know wouldn't know where to put me or something like that. So that's one like
You don't want to fall into
struggle.
one category,
Yeah.
one box.
Sorry, bro. I'll just quickly look at the chat here. Tavia's asking, has he mentioned anything on Warhammer yet? I think you did that was the last one, but I haven't watched that, to be honest. The latest video.
Warhammer is that's like the universe that of all the, like I'm part of so many fandoms, or at least I used to be part of more fandoms, but I've become disillusioned with some over time. But like Marvel and Star Wars, used to be big fans of those. I mean, I'd say I'm fans of where they originally were, but I don't necessarily agree with where some of the direction that they've taken. But all in general, I like a lot of different things. But if I was to pick like one favorite fantasy universe at all, it would have to be Warhammer 40K. And I don't know, like if I could go on a rant on that, but then I mean, I made YouTube videos about it with my buddy Alan. If anybody out there is curious what Warhammer is, basically, if you've been following Henry Cavill's career and you've heard about some of the stuff that he's been through lately, him losing out on The Witcher and then wanting to go back to Superman, but then they canceled that. But then he's like, okay, you know what? Screw
they
this.
canceled that?
Yeah, he's not going to be playing Superman anymore. Oh, you didn't know?
No, I heard about it, but I didn't know whether it was fact. Because I just heard it like a rumor.
James Gunn just put the axe on that whole thing, so he's not going to be Superman anymore.
Because he appeared in Black Adam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he thought he was going to be Superman again. He even released an Instagram video saying that he was going to be Superman again. But then James Gunn was sort of confirmed hired after. And then James Gunn comes in and like, I mean, James Gunn is good at his own things, but then I don't know about this decision of him canceling Superman. I guess they wanted to make a clean slate and everything like that. But then it's questionable because there are some things that they're keeping. For example, I've heard that they don't want to remove Ezra Miller. And if you think about all of the crazy, I don't know if you've been paying attention with that guy's career, but Ezra Miller like punched people and broke into people's homes and stuff like that. And then, I don't know. They're making a lot of weird decisions over there at Warner Bros. And so that's like I said, I've become disillusioned with
right
certain fandoms in recent time. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Henry Cavill, his personal favorite project that he's gonna do now. One of the reasons like people like me like love and respect him a lot is because he's like a genuine fan of the stuff that he does. Like I don't know if you heard about this, but like for example on the Witcher series, whenever they would go against the law and do something, like the writers, they had no like respect for Wachowski's work, the guy who wrote The Witcher and stuff like that. They just kind of like went on their own tangent and put in their own messaging and stuff like that. But Cavill was there like legitimately trying to get them to be faithful to the source material and stuff like that. And then like now that he's like they're kicking him off that show, I'm pretty sure that show is gonna drop off the face of the earth and nobody's gonna care about it. I mean, at least people like me are not gonna bother watching. I might watch season 3, but after that I'm probably not gonna care much about that show anymore. Anyway, like
he put a bit of what do you call it? He added a bit of pull onto that TV series.
Like pull to the thing, and he had a legitimacy too, I would say, to it because of him being an actual fan. And I don't know if you came across this article, but there's an article that talked about this guy who left The Witcher and has gone on to work on a new series, X-Men. And he opened up about the people behind the scenes working on The Witcher. And he confessed that most of the people hired to write The Witcher TV show hate the books and they hate the games.
Oh,
the people who are writing the show hate the books and they hate the games. Those are the type of people that they hired to work on the TV show. Anyway, my point is, you had like someone who genuinely cared about the franchise. You kicked him off on Witcher. He goes to Superman, he wants to do the same thing, but they kicked him off. But if there's one thing about him that I know is that he's also a huge fan of Warhammer 40k. And now the difference is he's not just starring in a Warhammer 40k show, he's a producer on the show, an executive producer. And what that means is that if they can't hire writers without him giving the approval. So there's no way this guy who's been dealing with writers who hates the things that he loves, the same kind of stuff that I love. There's no way Henry Cavill is now going to approve. I'm pretty sure everybody doesn't think. There's no way he's going to approve a writer who hates Warhammer to bring Warhammer to life. Because, it's like, for so many years now, they've been producing all these shows that are not faithful to the source material. And a lot of fans like me just feel annoyed and pissed at, like, Star Wars. Like I was a huge fan of Star Wars. I'm a sci-fi nut. I loved Star Wars. I freaking hated what they did to Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. My God, I freaking hated that movie. When I left that movie, I was so pissed. And there was so much stupid shit that they did in that movie. I didn't like Rey, the way they handled her in The Force Awakens. Sorry, am I ranting? I'm kind of ranting.
All good.
Yeah. But the thing about, you're like, Rey just comes in, this girl out of nowhere, she picks up a lightsaber, and all of a sudden she beats Kylo Ren, who's been training in the Force since he was a child. How does that happen?
Yeah.
That's bullshit, right? There's supposed to be a story arc. Anyway, I could go into more of it. They don't really care about the story. They care about other things. I'm not gonna talk about that stuff because that's going in another direction. But long
you know
story
what?
short,
we should probably blame George Lucas for selling out.
True, selling out.
But
Selling out
I guess he didn't have the energy or whatever. But maybe he should have just. I mean,
he should have
there's
picked
two
a better
sides.
successor.
Yeah. I mean, people want to see more, and then people want to see him continue it. But he probably couldn't, or he just probably didn't have the energy or something.
His mistake was the person he hired to replace him as the producer. And I don't know if how much you want me to say about this. But basically, the person who is currently in charge of Lucasfilm, I don't have any nice things to say about that person.
Right.
If there's that saying, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything. So I'm not gonna say anything.
All right. We'll leave it there. We'll just quickly check the chat. Warhammer reacts with his two mates. Oh, you had two of your mates react. Was that on Warhammer? On the Warhammer video? That's what Nigel's saying?
Yeah, that was one where I got two of my friends who I made friends with when I did some experience. I in a rural, I worked at a rural hospital in Kapuna. And I met one of them. I made good friends with him. He just happened to be in Port Moresby at that time. And I thought while he was here, I'm unlikely to ever see him again, considering that he works in a rural hospital. So I thought, might as well do a YouTube video with it. And so it was like a rushed video. That was my first Warhammer video.
All right, cool.
I love Warhammer. So
well, I'll have to check that out. By the way, if you're just joining us, I have pinned the comment with the link to Bonnie's YouTube channel. So please go and give that a follow and a like. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs, aren't we, Bonnie?
Oh, 200.
No, we're going for 1,000. I've been pushing people.
Yes, we're aiming for 1,000. Pushing for that. Oh, thanks. Yeah, definitely the numbers. I just saw a number drop off right now.
Yeah. So I think that'll come to another topic I wanted to discuss with you. More of the content creation side. But I just wanted to check out the comments here. Tavia says, "Let's go. We want Witcher." Ezra Miller, Cuckoo. I'm not sure.
There you go.
Oh no, yeah. We'll probably arrange another time where we can sit down and react to a couple of videos. We'll try to choose a playlist of videos or something and just react to trailers or something.
Stuff that I could do, things from movies to anime to even AI and whatever. Because for me, one of the things that I'm personally interested in is through it. I made a video about making AI art, but also AI chat is being pretty advanced these days. These days you can get an AI to write a story for you or something like that. And I was messing around and I made some questionable conversations between Trump and some questionable historical figures just to see what they would say to each other, at least according to the chatbot. Not chatbot, but chat GTP3. It's pretty interesting to chat, and then the art, AI art.
Right,
And
right.
there's so many different angles. Like I said, you could just pick an angle: technology, movies, politics. I could pretty much go anywhere, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. So I got your actually the latest video on the screen. So there you go, fam. If you wanted to go and check out the channel, just type in in the search BonzEye 92 or click on the link in the chat, and you can make sure you give him a like as well and subscribe when you get to the
Yeah,
channel.
yeah,
Melanesians
Yumi
react.
Story. Yeah, because
That's unique.
like this, there's a lot of React videos out there, but like how many like Melanesian people reacting to content are there? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like that's I kind of wanna add that like that's a series actually on my channel, and that's specifically when I get my own, like anybody, my friends or whatever, to react to something that I've seen that's like obviously not Melanesian content, and then get them. So like Warhammer is one, but I'm not just gonna do Warhammer. Uh, like I started with Warhammer because that's the thing that I'm really into, but like I want to have them react to, like I might do some reactions to some of the games that I like Crusader Kings. Like
Yeah.
there's some videos about Crusader Kings that tell you some of the really crazy events and things that can happen in this game that like you'd be surprised that these happened in a video game. And I'm
True.
looking forward to doing videos on that. And yeah, that those will I'll sort of sort of come out of the Warhammer for a bit, but that's yeah. Right now I'm finishing my Warhammer. Like unfortunately, the thing is, I recorded a whole bunch of Warhammer related content. So that's why it's like coming down the pipeline, and I don't have that much space. So I have to finish those first and then move on to some
Yeah,
new
there's
stuff.
there's just so much content out there that you can react to and stuff.
Yeah, could go.
Okay.
It's based on the video game League of Legends. Oh, yep, yep. I remember
Yeah.
that.
I
What's
actually
Chat
mobile.
GPT? Chat
Yeah,
GPT is amazing,
ChatGPT.
especially for programmers.
Yes,
that-
yes.
Is that something you can relate to?
So I was modding Crusader Kings 3, my favorite game. I can actually like ask ChatGPT to go over my script, my AI, the script whatever that I've been working on. Like I'm an amateur. I basically just like self-taught, like
Yeah.
teaching myself. I didn't even watch like I don't
And
even.
that's
I
so
barely
amazing
started
too, bro.
learning Python. Like I haven't even started learning Python and stuff yet. I'm going to school to actually learn that stuff, but. On the side, I've just been learning how to make my own, like, for example, I made the mod for PNG in Victoria 3 and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's without me actually knowing any actual programming skills. But because I don't know that much, I can just take if I have a problem that I can't solve, I can just take the script, put it in ChatGPT and ask it to proofread my script and make sure that everything's going well. So that's
Wow,
something that you
okay.
can use ChatGPT through. And that's obviously like a functional thing that's like but like I said, just for fun, you can just have a conversation with it. Like I was arguing it about the difference between like feminism and the Me Too movement and stuff like that the other day. And it was
have a
like
debate.
I was basically debating the AI on feminism the other time. Because I disagreed with some of the answers. I'm not going to go into it, but I disagreed with some of the answers that the chatbot was ChatGPT was
Yeah.
giving. Like it bases its responses on the collective
Right.
Twitter stuff that's put out there. But the problem is a lot of
The
people who
Twitterverse. Oh
put out a
no.
lot of stuff on social media have a certain political leaning and they don't understand things coming from a different angle. So I was arguing with the chatbot about like, hey, why do you think this is wrong on this side? Why is it okay for women to do this, but
Yeah.
not for men to do this? And I was trying to get that chatbot to realize that, hey, there are inconsistencies with your argument.
You're
Like
arguing with the bot.
me arguing logic with a robot. So yeah.
It's actually interesting because it's based on like the majority's viewpoint on,
Yeah, that's
on a
the
topic.
thing. You think that it's objective, but the thing is, it's basing its knowledge on the collective consciousness of like Twitter and stuff like that. So it's not actually objective. It has a bias. These bots have a bias, and people have to be aware of that. Don't think that because it's a robot, it can't tell the difference. Just like small kid growing up, someone can be influenced to have a certain way of thinking. These bots are basing all their knowledge off of what they collect, the data samples that they have of Facebook and stuff like that. And if Facebook has a political leaning which stops people of one political part of the spectrum to post their content, if they say, oh, only this type of narrative is okay, and if you're that narrative, you're not okay, then these chat bots that will one day run our society all of these chatbots are learning only one side of the story. So it's a dangerous thing, guys. Like, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Another rant.
All good, all good. Rusty, thank you for the share as well. Thank you, Rick Ratu, for the share, and Bird as well for the share. Sorry, I didn't mention those. But we have been talking all things. Well, we've been ranting about some gaming stuff, some programming stuff, some a bit about BonzEye's channel. So BonzEye, I just wanted to sort of cross over to the issue about content creation and sort of like what do you think? Like, is it easy for someone in PNG to get into content creation, like on YouTube, for instance, like yourself?
So okay. So basically, talking to Pili, I think that Pili, it's going to be very relevant. My next video on this, but he more or less talks about like okay. So for at least on YouTube, that I can talk to because that's like from personal experience.
Yeah.
It's not really actually. You just record content and put it out there. And honestly, like my other friend who I was talking about earlier, he also produces content. The one I wanted to do a podcast with. He doesn't so much do that now, but what he does do is his vlogs. He just records his family going to, like, if him and his family go to the botanical garden and they're there, he videos that day, and he's like, oh, it's like a video of us at the botanical garden, and that's kind of like showing people the PNG botanical garden, and at the same time it's like
simple yet
it's simple.
Entertaining. You know, it's showing people a different part of the world that you won't usually, have the chance to see.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated, and you don't have to go out of your way to do it. I'm right now, free and not doing anything. That's why I'm like going here and there and going out of my way to make content. But people are perfectly capable of making content. I mean, for the most part, I make content in my room. But what I mean is the Yumi Story and stuff like that when I go and see people. Like, that's like me going out of my way to produce content. But most of this stuff I just produce from my room. Like, you can see right there in my video. That's my double bed. That's the top bed. And I make my videos from my bedroom.
Yeah.
And I don't have what you call those things that you put your phone on and you can, like, Osmo. So I don't have any of that fancy equipment. I use a Samsung Galaxy that's more than 5 years old. The screen is cracked. My phone casing is I tried to buy a phone case the other day, and I went to Phone House to buy a phone casing for my phone case, and they said that they don't sell the phone casing anymore because my phone is outdated.
Right.
They don't even sell the casing for my phone because like it's just too old. Like I use outdated equipment, and I'm still able to produce like content. So I guess one thing would be finding the time to make the stuff. But if you keep your content simple, you don't have to do a lot of like editing and stuff like that. You can just like videotape something and post it, and that's perfectly fine. It only becomes a thing if you wanna like make like more complicated videos. Like a lot of my more complicated videos, like for example the Victoria trip was so hard for me to do, and like there was when I was starting off, the first more serious project I did was when I analyzed when China tried to make a security pact with Solomon Islands, and I did a video about that. That too was like a news type thing, and I had to read all these news articles to get information, and I made like that video. If you're doing content like that, yes, that's gonna be a headache. But if you're just videotaping your family,
make do with what you have, and as long as you have that content, that original content, you can still get views. And like, how many views do you average now for a video from your?
It depends
stats?
It depends on what I'm. So if I'm doing like my Warhammer stuff goes pretty popular because Warhammer fans are pretty dedicated. So I get like over 100 views on all of those videos.
Wow, okay.
My gaming content are the one that slows me a bit, but they don't usually go over 50. Sometimes they'll go like the initial ones would go over 100 maybe, but then sometimes they won't be that high. Like if I release a gaming video when a new mod comes out or something like that, they need to be very popular. But otherwise, it's just like less than 50.
How was
the Yumi Story
one talk system? One talk system one?
That one is over 100 views now, I think. Yeah.
Right. So that's one of the popular ones?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the popular ones. So that's another thing too. Things that are more personable and relatable, can also do pretty well. So like the video about one talk system, I would say that's good content, and it's unique to me and something like that.
Yeah.
So I definitely
and
will appreciate.
also, Nigel, I was speaking to Nigel. It's also something that we can relate to, like
Yeah.
the PNG gamers can relate to that, and the other PNG people.
Yeah.
So it's,
And
and
then,
it's also something. I think I was telling you that it's not heavily discussed or analyzed
True.
in depth.
Yeah.
So it was good that you delved into it and tried
Yeah.
to try to find out why one talk system was happening, or why PNG
Yeah.
time was happening, and
Exactly.
it has a lot to do with our history.
It has a lot to do with history. Like people need to talk about our history too and put that out there. So in terms of like creating content in Papua New Guinea, there's not enough content that's out there that's made by Papua New Guineans for Papua New Guineans, or not just for Papua New Guineans, but for like the world in general, to like learn about our people, learn about our culture.
Yeah.
So that's especially why I was doing this gaming content and this Warhammer stuff, and it's nice. I'm sharing my passion with the games and with the Warhammer, but I also want to share like myself too.
Yeah.
And so that's why the podcast came in, because the podcast allows me to be more like personal and be like, hey, like this is me. These are the things that I'm currently interested in and worried about, and I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like, if I were to put myself in a hat on YouTube, it would be more like a YouTube personality as opposed to like just a YouTube gamer or a YouTube commentator or whatever. I'm more like a personality, and then whatever I'm interested in kind of comes around from that. So, but yeah, obviously it will revolve around gamings, I guess, fantasy and stuff. And occasionally I might talk about politics. And I'm in movies and stuff too. Interested in like I might do movie reviews or anime reviews, but I haven't done a lot of those lately.
Yeah. But yeah, look forward to more of the content, and keep it up, bro. Hopefully we reach, or you reach 1,000 subs. I can't wait for that day when that happens.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna be awesome.
We're gonna celebrate, and
Honestly.
I will definitely try and support you as much as I can on the way.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, this is pretty good to what's happening right now. I definitely gained I think 2 subs or something from this. So thanks a lot, bro, for this.
Yeah, no worries. So if there's one sort of advice you could give someone who's trying to do sort of content creation, maybe not so much YouTube, maybe he's trying to get onto even the other platforms, but like for yourself, what would you say to someone who's trying to like start off, create some content?
So here's the thing. You will never be fully prepared. You will never be fully prepared. You just have to you just have to do it. Like I said, like even as I am right now, my phone memory is like, I can't record videos that are more than like an hour long or something like that, because my phone battery is very limited and my phone space is very limited. I have so many limitations, but I'm still going out there and doing these things. I don't have like a drone, or I don't have any fancy equipment.
Right.
But I'm just putting myself out there, and I know as I go along, I'm gonna save up and like improve, get better equipment and stuff like that. So rather than like I do have other friends who are interested in doing content production, but one of their limitations is they want to get the gear first and then do it.
Yeah.
And then on the other end of that,
which I think is the wrong way.
yeah. And then on the other end of that, I guess it's kind of a spoiler for my podcast with Pili, but he mentioned that there are people out there that he knows who do have the equipment. They have bought the stuff, but he's not seeing them produce stuff.
Good content.
So
or
those are people who are
entertaining.
kind of like well prepared, but I don't know. I can't speak for that because that's like that's not for me personally, but that's just kind of me giving a spoiler or a little bit for one of my future videos. But the thing there is that like you can never be underprepared over. You just kind of have to do it.
Make do with what you have and give it a shot. And as long as I think the content's interesting, you're creative with it, original, I think you get some views, and hopefully it works out. And then you can build on from there later.
Yeah, like you learn as you go, what works and what doesn't, huh? So I know now like what content on my channel like does the best, and that's like I guess the Yumi Story one. Like in terms of effort given and then the amount of views I get out of it. Like I'd say, yeah, Yumi Story is pretty good. Warhammer is pretty good, and then like my gaming ones, yeah, I'd say I might have to change the way I do gaming videos. And maybe like like the essay videos too. I haven't done those in a while, but they were not so good. But definitely the Yumi Story and the one, and I only learned that because I did it.
Yeah.
Like just put the video out there, and then I got the feedback, and now I know what works. So now I know, probably people want to hear the Yumi Story stuff, which I kind of thought, but now I know for certain.
Now you know for sure.
And also, like I said, compared to the amount of effort I put in, I did do like some editing in that video, but compared to like my gaming videos are the ones that give me the most time to edit, because the game I play is a strategy game, which means there's a lot of time when I'm just there waiting for things to happen. So I have to cut out sections of the game. It's not like a gun game where every single section is like of the game is like you run the sutiman and you panic the action oriented. So those ones, the effort I put in and the amount of views I get into it are not necessarily worth it. But I'm free right now. I'm not doing anything, like I'm not in school yet or anything like that. Not working right now, so I have the free time to mess with that. But definitely once I have things coming in, I'm gonna probably phase the content out.
Okay.
But yeah, you do it and then you learn from it and then you progress forward and
you
then,
grow. Yeah.
You grow.
Learn and grow. Good advice there. So BOP, thank you so much for the like. BOP Nation coming in with the like, and they have a comment here. Podcast is something Bunny has been wanting to get into for quite some time, and super proud that he's actually doing it and giving great opinions towards the pressing meta. Nice.
Yeah, I've been telling those guys that I want to do a podcast for a long time.
Yeah. So that I actually like the I think you were on the One Talk System video. You were talking about standing up and having that not being able to sit down. It was unusual. But I wanted to tell you that the standing up podcast is kind of like maybe something you could do as like a signature, like we're the only standing up podcast around. It's kind of unique, but you just have to make sure that you're within the frame or whatever. But
yeah, no, I think especially with my bro Alan, it's kind of we like to, me and that guy, we can like walk.
Right.
Oh, bro. Oh no, you're there. Sorry, I thought you cut off for a second. So me and my bro Alan, we can like walk for an hour and just talk. Like, I mean, you can probably tell from our relationship on camera that me and this guy can just go on like rants about stuff. So for us, like standing and talking just felt natural, so we thought we'd wing it. But yeah, next time we'll definitely get markers or some shit. Put some markers on the ground so we know not to step on. I feel like with him it's more natural. Depends on the person I'm with, I guess. If I'm with someone who would prefer to sit, then sit. But the standing thing might work depending on who.
Yeah. And I guess it depends on your equipment. And BonzEye's back.
Yeah, as you said, as the PNG internet hiccups.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's aware of.
Yeah, no.
Luckily, I haven't been playing any online games because that would totally mess me up if that was happening during.
Yeah. No, I know all about that.
So other than strategy games, the only exception I think I would give that a game like a shooter game that I like would be Apex Legends.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Okay.
That one in particular appeals to me. Like I don't necessarily like COD. I only play COD because it's the popular game that everybody plays. But if it was up to me, I'd never play COD. And what's the other popular? Even PUBG too. I don't play PUBG. But I mean, I watch the BOP players play PUBG, and sometimes I sort of moderate in the chat. So like I end up watching people play that. But
I do notice that Apex is different. It's a lot different. I think it's the speed of the game. And
I don't know enough to say what the difference is. Maybe you would know more. I guess what you're saying now has to be true.
Yeah. But not everyone is a COD fan, or not everyone's a, those FPS fans. But it's good to have that variation. So it's good to see like someone like you in the
Bloods of PNG game, representing the different other games
on show.
I guess I can kind of say like within the Bloods of PNG, the game that brought me to them was Mobile Legends.
Right.
Yeah, because that Mobile Legends is an offshoot of League of Legends, which is an offshoot of Defense Against the Ancients, which is
Wow.
originally
Okay.
a mod in Warcraft. And I first played
Wow. I didn't know that.
Warcraft mod. Yeah, so it's a spin-off of, I mean, not a spin-off, but like a copycat of a game that was originally a mod.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's like down the line.
It's like
and,
an alien species is just grown out of another.
yeah, exactly. It just grew and became its own thing and became its own genre, really.
Yeah,
Like at first it was all just real-time strategy game, but then
Yeah.
now real-time strategy games have kind of gone down. They don't really make any good ones anymore. And like there's no new Age of Empires right now, you know what I mean? I mean there's some small indie games, but there's no triple A. Well, actually, Age of Empires recently made a remaster, but other than that, there's no real-time strategy. Like the golden age of strategic real-time strategy is gone. So no more new Warcraft, no more new Starcraft, anything
Yeah.
like that. But you do have these games that came from them, like for example, Mobile Legends, which is like it's a new genre of its own now, but it came from that. And that's how I was invited to join Bloods of PNG because of that. Through one of the members who is a personal friend of mine.
Okay. Nice. So yeah, you seem very regular with your videos. I'm just looking through your channel, bro. And I will remind the viewers in the chat that you can click on that link and it'll take you straight to BonzEye's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So
I can mention something on the
Yeah.
home page.
Mhm.
If you go to the where it
The
says at the
homepage,
top there,
yep.
the tabs beneath the search bar,
Okay.
you'll see the first one of them is just called favorites, and I just listed like favorite videos
right.
there. So like that's like obviously if people come to my channel, where to start because my videos are everywhere all over the place. So
So
I
there
just
you
put
go.
the favorites there, and you can pick. So like
So there you go,
what's the
fam.
Toro video, the
Um,
anime video there. There's the video between China and Solomon Islands there.
Yep. So I'll just move my videos in the way. I mean, my webcam is in the way. So just move that out of the way. But yeah, you can see there favorites. And BonzEye's put his favorite videos
Oh
there,
yeah,
so you can.
I forgot to move Yumi Story. I should add that to that list actually.
Yeah,
Yumi
yeah.
Story should definitely be in that list of favorites. So that way, it's like if someone's new to my channel and they come to my channel and they click on it, they're like, "Oh, okay, I can start watching one of these ones." Because otherwise, you're gonna end up watching like episode 23 of a series that I've been going. Like for example, my
Yeah.
the Melanesian Conquistadors. In that
Oh,
one,
so the one talk system was the Yumi Story episode 0.
yeah, episode
Okay.
0. There it is right there. So I should put that in the favorites. So like if you can see like the Melanesian Conquistadors, that's one where I modded in Melanesian culture into my favorite game. And
Oh,
Conquistadors,
yes.
they were the ones that conquered South America, and they were originally from Spain. So what I
Right.
did was I just made a Melanesian culture, put it in Spain, and then I created a scenario where like these Melanesian people in Spain hybridize with Spain and they conquer Spain.
Yeah,
More or
yeah,
less.
yeah. So I've got that. I've got that on the screen there.
Yeah. So if you go through that, I think that's the final episode. Oh no, that's the first one, is it?
Yeah, the
that's
first
me.
one, part 1. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I
cool.
I named it after. You might see if you see his name there, it might be familiar to you.
Oh wait! I just backed out. Hold on. Mixed. I just saw it. He does look. He does resemble Mix there. Shout out to Mix, by the way. One of the BOP boys. One of our good friends. Shout out to Mix. He's also a PNG streamer. Shout out
Anyway,
to the
so, like,
shout out to the bro Mix.
the names. So because I'm not good at, I don't have a list of like actual Papua New Guinean names. The names of the Melanesian, like in this game, people are born and live and die and do their own thing. So they have to have names. People who live in this game. So
Right.
I had to create a name list for it, and the name list is just from my actual friends in real life. So like if you play with the mod, you'll see like some certain surnames that, well, I mean, for me personally, or if one of my friends were to watch the video, they'd actually recognize
know.
the names
Yeah,
because it's based on real people, more or less.
interesting. So there you go. If you could sum up like the content for your your videos, bro? It's kind of like all over the place. So how would you describe it to the viewers?
So yeah, my channel description or about was I wrote a Melanesian nerd. Yeah,
Right.
Melanesian nerd making content or something on that line. Like I
Okay.
basically just do I do content that I do strategy content, and I always try to tie it back to PNG. So if I'm playing a game, I'll try to mod Papua New Guinea culture in it. You know what I mean? Or if I'm doing a reaction video, like obviously, well, I mean, but it'll be titled Melanesians React and so on and so forth.
Right.
So I
Right.
always try to create this. Man, yeah, it's really hard for me to strategy
There is
gaming.
no way you could
Yeah, bro,
yeah.
I'm so bad. I'm so bad at describing. Like it, I think the only way to put it is that I have a personality. I'm a personality, and I'm a YouTube personality who makes content around geeky stuff.
Right. The geeky
Yeah,
Melanesian.
geeky Melanesian, exactly. I'm a geeky Melanesian who makes content about geeky stuff and Melanesian culture. Okay, so I think
But
that's it.
you've also delved into the political stuff. So I haven't actually watched the political stuff. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, the China and the song. That was one of my first videos. I didn't even add music to it, so it's
Right.
gonna be an issue to that because I didn't know how to add music at that time. But yeah, I did like a full on history.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay, that's gonna be interesting. I want to try to
yeah,
watch
I
that.
talked about Solomon Islands as when they were in the World War II days and how the setup with America set them
Right.
up to have like the type of cultural, like there's like some
The
issues going on between these
Guadalcanal and Malaita.
Guadalcanal and United people. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
talk about how that was set up in World War II and how that led to the troubles that happened in the
The
2000s
90s.
when they hit
Oh yeah.
the Civil War,
2000s. Yeah.
and how that led to them having an unstable government, and how them having an unstable government requires that they have help, which is why they have a security pact with Australia already. But then,
Yeah.
like now, they're leaning on to China, and then Australia being an American ally who is currently unhappy with China.
Yeah.
America, well, I don't know if America is telling Australia too, but Australia themselves too, they're being proactive and they're like going to Solomon Islands and saying, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" and stuff like that. So I kind of
Yeah.
use the history to explain that, like lead up and explain all that scenario in 3 long videos.
I'm gonna definitely watch that because I was watching stuff about Solomon Islands and what happened there with their
Yeah,
crisis between the Malaitans and the Guadalcanal
Guadalcanal.
people. So
Yeah, like
very interesting, and like
just sort of-
I'd like you to also cover, if you could, the Sandline affair.
oh yeah,
That would be a very interesting, like, because not a lot of people in PNG know about it, and maybe some are too young, and most of the old people probably know about it, but they probably not the in-depth sort of knowledge about it. Including me, like I would like to learn more about that, and that's our own history.
that's true. That's true.
Uh,
That sounds like a big project too.
yeah,
Like going to school might make that difficult, but definitely I'll add that to the list of like projects to do.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I got a list there where I put a bunch of stuff that I want to do in the future, and let me just type it in right now.
yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
just a thought. If you,
yeah,
I thought it'd be an interesting topic. But
just
yeah,
yeah, I'll put a
otherwise, I'm really loving the content, and I'll definitely try and check out that Solomon Islands um,
mm,
China issue, that China video. Three
yeah,
parts, right?
3 parts. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's sometimes, yeah, I can't help but like maybe I don't know if I should summarize it more, but then I can't help but just keep going and
yeah.
expressing and telling and giving the information.
No, all good. Like, it's actually interesting because I've been watching other videos, and people are as the social media platforms sort of take over.
Mm.
They complain that the written media is not as effective, or not as, what do you call it, influential as before.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
like, mediums like podcasts and YouTube have taken over, and I think it's good that people like you get into podcasting or get into more doing more YouTube stuff and covering topics like history, politics.
Yeah.
And you're kind of also interacting with people as well with your the comments and stuff, and you're listening to what people want, and it's interesting. It's a new dynamic. It's the future, bro.
Yeah, interactivity between like the producer and the comments and replies and all that stuff. It makes it better too, and they can like add on to, like for example, the Warhammer videos. There's so many people that will add on to the information that I gave or the lore and stuff like that, and it's like adding to the content. And I learned stuff too, a lot of stuff too from the. I'm sure if I start making more PNG content too, or Pacific Islands content too, like people will comment and add more information. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. That's like I said, I'm gonna pivot more towards that. I think as the year goes on, because I feel like it'll be more natural, I guess, to produce that kind of content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, less effort for what I'll end up producing.
And that's good. That's good to hear from you as well, because it's like natural. It's like what naturally comes from you. Is going on to your YouTube channel. It's not like someone's behind the scenes pushing you to. It's just you yourself just creating the content.
There's no secret agenda.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I think we'll sort of close things up, unless there's people in the chat that wanted to give us a question or two to BonzEye before we end the stream. But I appreciate everyone that's dropped by the stream, giving us a like, giving us a share, or just taking time to watch the stream with us. And enjoy the commentary. So any last words, BonzEye, before we close up stream?
No, thanks a lot for tuning in. If you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe, and I definitely look forward to making more content that's related to PNG, and also like just general informative and stuff like that. Like the AI stuff too, technology. That's another thing that I'm interested in. I'll mention that too. Other things that I'm interested in is like the AI
tech
art
stuff,
and AI
tech side of things. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I want to make more content in that vein, but as things go on, and myself to learn now that I'm going to school to do that.
All right, fam. On that note, have a good evening, and we will catch you on the next live stream.
Peace out.
Peace.